Moon Knight, issue number 18. This feels like it is the end of the vampire arc, which makes sense. I don't know if this will be like the last time McKay plays with vampires in the book, because there's still a lot to explore. If anybody were to give us the Dracula big nerd meme, I feel like it's McKay. I don't know if that's where we're headed, but I can see him potentially setting up the idea that Dracula has money that Mark needs. I could see that happening. But this book was really fun. Really fast-paced. It didn't feel like we were rushing to the ending of this arc. It felt like, yeah, this is where it would go. Not much else needs to be done. I get it. We ended last issue with Namine and Grand Mal being thrown into the vampire, event, whatever's going on in the middle of New York, when Mark and Tigra walk through the door in their beautiful outfits, a perfect, pretty couple. Very fun to see them together. Mark's like, hey, I brought gifts. Great to see you in person for the first time. I just remember hearing your name everywhere, and I never had a face, I never had your voice, but now I'm going to see you eye to eye. I'm going to kill you. And the tutor's like, this is what I'm talking about, vampire people. Look at this. Look at these superheroes just walking in here representing the old ways. Look at them. They think they're so special because they can just show up and do this stuff. What bullshit. I hate them so much for it. Utterly terrible people. But Mark's like, okay, that was your warning. Good speech, you had your little fun, but let me say what I'm here to say. You're doing some bullshit in my city. I'm not going to let you get away with it. And I do not take kindly to people who are vampires trespassing on my passengers of the night. So why don't you back up out of the city and get away from me? And as that is happening, a few floors below the big event going place, we have Soldier and Reese working on something. And Soldier's just kind of giving a speech about what happened to him in life and where he ended up, which is kind of cool to see. He's just like, I might not be the smartest guy in the world, and that's what led me to Hydra, and that's what they like doing, square peg in a round hole kind of world. Never found a job that clicked in. I had all this anger inside of me. Hydra used that against me. So because of that, I found something I was good at, went down the wrong path. It's where I ended up here. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. We don't get this a lot. Just like a character who, ex-Hydra, really experimenting and feeling like why they fell into that world. It feels very honest, like a guy like this would end up in that position. So that's kind of cool to see. And I have we seen Reese in this jacket before? Like the leather jacket with like the big two collars. It looks really cool. I like that. I am a classic Moon Knight fan. I like my Marlene, I like Frenchie, and I like Gina and all of them. But I think what Jed has done really well with this book so far is just introduce new characters that feel like they would fit into the current Marvel Universe pantheon of characters in a Moon Knight comic. It's very cool to see. So everything still looks good outside, looks like they're going to be okay, and you just see Tudor is still getting a little bit angry. Just being a dick. And he's like, you know what my secret weapon is, Tudor? I have patience. And suddenly, something falls from the ceiling. You're like, what is that? Mark grabs it, and we get a nice page where it's just Moon Knight and Tigra's underneath an umbrella, a white umbrella. And he says, now, soldier. I love this page. This might be my favorite page in the Moon Knight run so far. Because I'm like, this is like what I want people to understand about the character. It's this. It's weird anime bullshit stuff. And it's working. Soldier gives us a little more information on his life. Like, this is what led me here. This is why I do it. At least now, working for the Midnight Mission, I'm on a side of the world I like. I feel like I've finally found my place in the world. I'll be on the right side of history. He hits a button to activate fire control system in the ballroom, and then a bunch of water falls from the ceiling, hitting all of the people. Marc and Greer are underneath their umbrella, all dry. And Tudor's like, what was that? Was your plan just to make me angry before I kill you? It's like, you're stupid here. You're so stupid. You're some stupid superhero. Mark's like, you're not listening. I'm not a superhero. I'm a priest. And I consecrate this water to the service of Khonshu, that miserable old bastard. And it's like, oh shit. Holy water. He made it holy water. And then all the vampires start to burn. And what is Tiger going to do? Guess what? She's going to whip out her silver claw caps and start killing people. And okay. Tiger's killing people. Are we okay with that? I guess they're vampire people. It doesn't matter. We're like, this is a generally smart plan. You would imagine the vampires at this point would have went to a building that didn't have a fire system set up in case an event like this happened, but I guess you could chalk that up to hubris. I'm not complaining about like that actually happening in this book. I think it's very funny that it happens, and I'm okay with that being one of the leading factors of what happens in this book. Very cool. And then we see Badir falls from the ceiling with his sword, and he's going to come into the fight too. Very fun. And kind of like every other major arc of this run so far, Mark gives like his big speech to all the villains he's fighting, like, that's enough, okay? I had enough of you terrorizing my city, doing things for my people. You know what? Everybody thinks they can be a god on the streets, but I'm so sick and tired of gods. I'm done with it. Greer saves one person who's a human, keeps them alive. They're going to interrogate him. You also see that Badir kind of has like a moment where he wants to talk to Mark about something. Who knows what it is? I wonder if this is going to be like if this is like maybe Badir's first time dying in a capacity that isn't like his resurrection of Hunter's Moon. So now he feels like a new obligation to his father. I wonder if that's what that's going to be like. Very interesting. But essentially, we keep the human alive, and it's just Mark kind of like yelling like, I know you're working for Dracula, that big fucking nerd. You tell him if he comes into my city, I'm going to kill him. And if any of them make a move on New York, they're done for. No more Draculas, no more vampires coming to New York. We're not doing that anymore. Keep them out of my city. We're just done with that shit, okay? Nobody steps foot in here. Beautiful splash page. Look at this fun team. They're all cute and adorable. I love it. This is Federico doing the artwork on this book. I think their work is very hit or miss for me so far. This is one of the stronger ones with their work because I think the coloring has finally like matched up with like their intense line work. It's looking very sharp and very fun. But that's not the end of the book. We wrapped up the vampire plot. We burned them all. We slashed them all. Very cool. We cut back to somewhere in the Meridian, and we just see that there's this doctor, Robert Plesko, who is a psychotherapist. He's talking to this patient, and the unknown patient is like, what makes you different than other people, doc? Everyone comes in here and thinks they can help me. But I see you. You're not some soft academic. You've seen people die. Maybe you even did the killing yourself. Am I wrong about that, doctor? He's like, no, you're not. I also know if I want to communicate with you, I have to play a little bit more to your hand and give you a little bit more of what you're looking for. So he reaches into his bag and he grabs, what is it? Oh, it's a mask. Guess who he's talking to? Zodiac. That's right. Zodiac's coming back. Zodiac is Zodi back, baby. Cool. Because he was a good like villain for the first arc of this book. And yeah, I'm fine with that. Very cool. So I do like the vampire arc of this book. I think it's very fun. I don't know if it's as strong as like the other Zodiac stuff, but it's still very good, very interesting. I don't know, like maybe it's because it's like, oh, it's vampires. It's so cliched and done, but it still works really well. And this was a really nice way to wrap up the book. Very simplistic, very fun, beautiful splash pages with your favorite characters and beautiful poses. I liked it a lot. A really fun read. That just goes to show you, like, we can really take chances with Moon Knight. And the fact that this book is still selling really well is really cool to see. It's just great stuff. And next month, or not even next month, in like a couple of weeks, we're getting Commodore Donny Planet. Is like that what I'm seeing on like the picture for next issue? Like, that's insane. We've really come full circle with this character, I think, where he reached the popularity, he's hit his crucial point. You can only go downhill from here, but we're still riding that high well enough into the next issue, into the next arc. I'm waiting for the pin to drop, but I don't know if it will. Very good stuff, though. It's great to have this working. Great to have all of this working. So, Moon Knight, issue number 18. I'm going to give an 8 out of 10. Well, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Hive. And I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.